Hey, what's up guys? It's Mike Nardi here. So how do you get better ratings on FIVERR? If you're watching this video, I really need to ask, if you're genuinely watching this video and you are truly looking for ways to get more 5-star ratings on FIVERR, I want to start with a question. Don't you already know how to get 5-star ratings on FIVERR? Seriously, I'll bet you know already. The reason I ask is because generally, as a human, we know the types of things that we need to do to make our clients happy. These are just basic parts of human nature that are programmed into most of us. But for some reason, you and a lot of other viewers are finding yourself here looking for that extra tip to help you get more 5-star ratings and go the extra mile to get more 5-star ratings with your buyers. So how do you do it? In this video, I'm going to cover the 3 things that I think are the basics of getting a 5-star rating on FIVERR. These are the things that everyone needs to have programmed into their repertoire with every client they work with. These are things that I think go without saying, and I'll cover them in this video. But I'm also going to cover one tip that I think might not be as intuitive for most sellers. It's something I picked up through a career in sales, and it's helped me build better relationships and ultimately end up with more happy buyers. So I'm going to share that tip with you, and if you haven't had a career in sales or really done much selling of any sort, it's going to be really helpful for you because it's a mindset shift and a strategy that you can apply to every order you complete that will help you leave off with a better lasting impression with your buyers that will lead to more 5-star ratings, and it'll actually get your buyers to be more inclined to even tip you because they're going to be so happy with the services that you deliver. So stay tuned, we're going to get into them in a second. But before I get into things, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking this video. It goes a long way and it's a nice pat on the back for me for putting out this content. I really appreciate it. So up until now, I've been saying that generally we should know the things we need to be doing to get 5-star ratings. The common things that should be common sense and should be intuitive. If they're not, and you're watching this video because you genuinely need to know these things, these are the 3 things that I think should go without saying and govern your behaviors as a seller on every order, no matter the circumstance. The first thing you need to do, no matter what buyer you're working with, is to be polite and courteous. No matter how many questions your buyers are asking you, if you feel like they're wasting your time, or they're not real buyers, or they're tire kicking, or they're just asking silly questions, you need to have the mindset of being helpful first and a seller second. So if you want someone to work with you and they don't fully understand what they're talking about and you're the expert, instead of either rushing them to buy or rushing them to not buy, take a minute to help them out. Be polite and understand that this might be their first time working with someone like you. This is going to go a long way because if you are kind, courteous, polite, and actually helpful to them, and they do end up placing an order with you, they're going to remember that, and that's going to dictate their perception of the experience working with you. So being polite and courteous should go without saying. Nobody likes working with an ass, so don't be one. It goes a long way. And this really should be common sense. Our parents and teachers have been telling us to have manners and be polite since we were small kids. So be polite and courteous in every situation on FIVERR, no matter the circumstance. The second thing is to just make sure you're delivering high quality work. There's no situation where a buyer on FIVERR, or anywhere for that matter, is going to feel good about buying something that's low quality. Whether it feels like it was rushed or it's incomplete, nobody likes that. So as a seller on FIVERR, regardless of where you're pricing your services, whether you're charging $5 for your services or $5,000 for your services, regardless of the price, you need to make sure that that delivery that you deliver is the best work you can do. Because buyers notice that, and that's what buyers leave ratings for. They leave ratings for good work, for sellers that they'll come back to, for sellers who've gone above and beyond. So make sure you're doing good quality work. Should be a no-brainer, but I've seen a lot of sellers really cutting corners, and it reflects in the reviews, and ultimately it's going to kill your business if you don't change that. Leave high quality work. The third thing is to make sure that your gigs accurately reflect your skills and you're selling things that you can actually deliver upon. You will not believe how many sellers I've run into as someone looking to buy services on FIVERR who just say yes to everything. When I message them and ask if they can do something that's not clearly outlined in their gig, half of the people I've messaged in my time looking for things to buy on FIVERR have immediately jumped to say, yeah, I can do it, yeah, I can do it, yeah, I can do it. The number of people who could actually do it to the standard that I was expecting is far lower than the amount of people who said that they could. As a buyer, this really pisses me off, and it pisses off other buyers too. If you're a seller and a buyer is asking you whether or not you can do something that's not clearly outlined on your gig, Be honest with them. Let them know where your skills lie, how proficient you are at certain things, and whether or not you've done projects in that vein in the past. You do not want to get into a situation where you're telling someone, yeah, I can do it, just place the order. They place the order, and then you deliver something crappy. They're going to be pissed off, they're not going to give you a high rating, and they're never going to work with you again. So make sure your gig is an accurate reflection of you and your skills. It's going to go a long way, and it really should be a no-brainer. Alright, and this is more or less the grand finale of this video, but the one tip and mindset that I've been using that I think can help every FIVERR seller is to operate on the premise of under-promising and over-delivering. What do I mean by that? In my last example, I said make sure your gig accurately represents the skills you can actually deliver. And yeah, that goes without saying. But once you get into a situation where your buyers are actually interested in working with you and they're asking you certain things and you guys are working out the specifics of the project, this is the time where you need to be asking and going the extra mile to ask the questions so that you fully understand what they want and they fully understand what you're going to deliver. Set proper expectations. By doing this and by making sure you're asking these questions to set expectations versus just rushing into getting the order, this allows you to set the bar for the quality of work that's expected of you. If you ask enough questions and you have a full understanding of what the buyer wants, and you allow them to ask you questions and they have a full understanding of what you can deliver, you guys both have a general idea of the bar or the quality of work that's expected to be delivered from you. By doing that, and setting those expectations, you now set the bar that you can overachieve. When you deliver the work, you know what the buyer's expecting, you can go above and beyond. What happens in this situation? If a buyer is expecting a certain level of work or quality for a certain price, and you come back and you deliver something that totally blows it out of the water and blows their mind, they're gonna be shocked because they were expecting it to go a certain way. You know, they had already chalked you up, okay, I'm paying this much for this seller. Generally, he's gonna fall into this category of quality of work. I'm okay with that. But if you come back and deliver something that goes above and beyond and exceeds their expectations, goes above what you promised them, they're gonna be so happy. This is a guiding principle that will help you in every situation, on FIVERR and in other types of business. Under promise, over deliver. You will only be left with happy clients if you under promise and over deliver. If you're in a situation where you're over promising and you deliver a half-baked project or something that's not up to par, they'll never be happy. Trust me, it should be common sense, but it wasn't in my mind until someone taught me how to do this. You just need to make sure you're taking the time to ask the questions and give them the opportunity to ask you questions before you guys agree to work with one another. Once you set that bar of what's going to be delivered, the sky's the limit for how much you can over exceed that. And even if you over deliver a little bit, they're going to be happy about it because they feel like they're getting more value from you. So that's the big tip here. This is what I've learned from a career in sales and a year and a half working on FIVERR as a seller. Under promising and over delivering will always leave you with happy buyers who are going to give you 5-star ratings. And in my case, I've accumulated hundreds of dollars of tips over the last year, which is a really awesome pat on the back for me as a seller, and you can do the same. Under promise, over deliver. You won't regret it. Alright, so that's all I have for you in this video. The 3 tips that I think were the basics were to be polite and courteous, deliver great quality work, and make sure you're selling skills you can actually deliver. And the big tip that I think that you can use as a mindset change to really cement and ensure you're getting 5-star ratings was to under promise and over deliver with every buyer you run into on FIVERR. It will not disappoint, you will get more 5-star ratings, and you will get a bunch of tips along the way. It's awesome, do it, you're gonna love it, your buyers are gonna love it. So thanks again for watching this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you're subscribing. I try to put out a helpful FIVERR video every week. If you're not new to the channel, check out some of my other videos. I'm trying to cover as much information about how to be a great seller on FIVERR as possible to help you and other new sellers around the world make some real money on the FIVERR platform. So thanks again for watching, cheers.